Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are on a fun little field trip. Jerry and I came to visit some sweet friends of ours at Creekside Nursery in Monroe, North Carolina. They just do an amazing job. We are at their wholesale facility. They do have a retail location in Stallings, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road. So if you are in the area and you are looking for some fantastic annuals and wonderful things for your garden, check out King's for sure. We have used them at Creekside for multiple years because they just grow beautiful plants that both annuals, that's why we're here today, is to shop for our fall color, but they also have a huge proven winners line of perennials, and we have certainly taken advantage of their great growing practices. We just thought it would be really fun to kind of bring you along for the ride. Normally, King's brings all their stuff to us. They deliver in roughly with about a 150-mile radius of Monroe, so they will go down to Charleston and the South Carolina beaches, all the way up to Boone and Blowing Rock. They've even gone to West Virginia. So if you are a garden center within 150 miles of Monroe, North Carolina, and you are looking to add some gorgeous annuals and proven winter perennials, obviously they do other perennials as well, then you really need to check out King's. Give Grayson a call. He will take excellent care of you, and tell him that Jenny from Creekside sent you, so that way he will make the connection for sure. But we're just going to walk through. They have, clearly we're standing right here in front of the violas. Pansies are behind us, and they have all stages. And so we're just going to take you along just a behind the scenes tour so you can see what other garden centers and growers, what it looks like, because as crazy as it is, these plants just don't magically appear in the garden center year round. Somebody has to take that time to grow these sweet things out. I was just telling Grayson, every year I'm like, oh, at this time of year, I'm like, I don't want to grow anything else. I don't want to put any more plants in the ground. And then I come and I see these beautiful plants like this, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll plant a few. So that's what we're going to do now, is just go through and pick out. Grayson said I could take anything I wanted to home. So the whole nursery is wide open to Jenny's whims, much to Jerry's dismay. So we're just going to have fun walking around, shopping for their garden center. I may pick up one or two things for myself, and then we're going to show you the whole production side of how they get these violas and pansies into these flats, because it is quite the operation. So we're just going to have some fun shopping. All right, so I want to share with you, because they do grow a variety of the different series, right? Because we know there's all sorts of series in growing and different plants. What I have right here, this is the Color Max series, and this is Grayson's favorite, and it is our favorite as well. So I was asking Grayson, I was like, okay, so what's so great about Color Max? Like, I know as a gardener why I like it, but you tell me as a grower why you like it. Color Max, he says, is just as far as the color, it truly is a max of color. It just pops, and even in if you were to plant it beside somebody else that is still that same bright yellow, the Color Max is going to outperform it every single time. Just handles the cool temperatures like a champ. In this hand, I have the lemon berry pie mix, and you will see there's the purples, the yellows, and those nice icy blues. Grayson says in the colder the temperatures, the more intense the colors get. We are in September. We are all glistening right now, because even though we are in a covered greenhouse, it is still quite warm. And so the pansies are having to grow in these warm conditions, even though they try to make them cooler as possible. So they're really going to pop with the color. They bounce back. If we should get some snow and some ice, they're going to bounce back faster. So we definitely are going to load up on a lot of these Color Maxes. And yellow is always a good color. If you're looking for something to really pop from a distance, yellow is the color to go to. And as a side note, right, if you have your honeybees that are coming out late fall and then going into early spring, they do love yellow. So yellow is a great attractor for your pollinators that may be left over in the fall and or in the spring. So there we go, and we're gonna load up and have some fun here. here at King's, of course, it is September and they are in the absolute throes of production for their fall color. So we are in their production area. Just to give you an idea of, you saw the finished product, but this is how their pansy plugs comes to them. Very, very similar to when our annuals come to us in January, February, and March. So these are all little baby Color Max clear yellow violas. We really like violas because they can just withstand our winters a lot better, it seems, than pansies, because there is a difference between pansies and violas. Violas, yes, the blooms are smaller, but they produce more blooms per plant. And then pansies do have a bigger flower, but there's fewer flowers per plant, and they really take a break when it's really cold. That's why I personally prefer violas over pansies. But let's just that was a side note. That was a freebie for you. Come on over here, let me show you what this fantastic machine will do. So you know at Creekside, where we have to hand do every plant, this machine will go through and do about 100, almost 160 of these trays a day. And then that translates, oh gosh, 14, I'm misremembering, now I forgot the math, but almost 160 of these flats a day that it will plant. So it comes in, come down here. We'll start the process down here. You can see it's got the whole conveyor system. We'll start at the very beginning. So here we go. You know at Creekside where we do the individual bags, you have this massive block of soil and he's getting ready to load it into the hopper. I'll let Jerry move. So into the hopper it goes. Then they'll flip it and cut it. Because right now no soil is getting fed to the line. I was a distraction. This is really cool. This is what you call automation at its finest. And King's is a family company, right? They are a small owned family nursery. There it goes. Boom. And then of course they'll come take the pallet out and take the plastic out. But it will chop it up. You can see right now there's no potting soil going through. It chops it up and it'll spit it out. And then in these hoppers, they can put like fertilizers or any kind of supplement that they need to add to the potting soil. It will go in these hoppers, add it to the soil, and then when it goes up, then it gets mixed in, and there's just this whole conveyor system that it just then follows the whole line all the way down. And then you can see where they're where she is hand feeding all of the trays into the potting machine. So it's running. She's got the trays in there, nice and smooth. You don't want any slack in the line. So once the trays come through, the potting machine fills it up with the soil. You can see, you just got to go in there and of course and make sure that each one of the cells is evenly filled with potting soil. It goes through, we feed the line, comes on down here and gets potted. So taken out, take all the little plugs out, pop them in. Quality control, of course, making sure that everybody's got a hole fed. So what you can see is that she's got some extra plants right there. So if somebody got missed, she plugs them in and she's tagging them. So every cell is filled, moving on down the line. Jimmy's about to stick her head underneath here. Everybody gets some nice water. Nice and a good little drench of water in here. Oh, nice and cool, feels great. And you'll notice that they really, at this point, have one tag per tray. So that way, at this point, they're not worried about plugging every plant, just one, and then comes on down the line, gets put on a rack, and then the racks will get taken out to the appropriate greenhouse. So it is a well-oiled machine here at King's, but yet again, using automation to just make the whole process more productive, right? So you use those machines, but you're using people. People are never going to be replaced within the greenhouse industry. We need lots of great qualified folks who love to grow things, who don't mind sweating, who love to get nice and dirty, but you get to grow beautiful plants. So King's is a great example of that, and just doing a fantastic job. Now we're going to see what other fun things I can get myself into. Okay, my friends, we are back here at Creekside. We have got a trailer full of fall color. This will be the first round of lots of fall color for us here at Creekside Nursery. We are a grower retailer, of course, and we are going to be growing our own pansies and violas that will be available later on in the season. We were talking with Grayson. Grayson's just such a great friend and great resource, and I mean, obviously we're in the same business, so you can swap stories and everything, and he was just saying how it really is hard to grow these cool weather loving plants when it is so stinking hot here in North Carolina. We were drenched, still drenched in just sweat. But we got absolutely beautiful color. I will say that stay tuned for tomorrow's nursery tour, because I will go through like the exact varieties and the colors that we got. We are tired and we're not gonna unload this truck today, so you just get to see the big shot right here. But we do have a lot, of course, of the pansies and the violas. Just to recap, like, what is the difference between a pansy and a viola? So violas have this really nice little small bloom on it, but it will have more flowers per plant than a pansy does. For us in the South, pansies and violas are a fall, winter, early spring crop. That means they will stay green and mostly flowering throughout the entire fall, winter, and early spring. I know if you are in a much colder part of the climate, you maybe only plant these in the springtime. But for us, because we are a warmer climate, they will last throughout the season for us. So you've got and I don't have a pansy close by that I can get it. But pansies, of course, are just bigger and they have fewer blooms per plant. I think Jerry said he could get one for you down there. And they tend to stop blooming in the coldest part of the season, where violas will produce more. So you can see the difference in the size of that's the viola, and earlier was the pansy. There's not like a right or a wrong, it's just total personal preference. I personally have found that I think I like violas a little bit more because they are a more reliable bloomer for us than a pansy, but that is just my personal opinion. And so we have everything, both pansies and violas, for you all. And then I think you can see up here on the very top shelf, we have a nice assortment of kales and cabbages and mustards. The one favorite one that we had last year was Ms. America, which was a mustard. It is a mustard. And I'll show it to you in the nursery tour tomorrow, but it is gorgeous. Last year we had it and people loved it. We had some in some containers here at the nursery, and it just lasted all season long. Nice, deep burgundy, gives you some height, and really, really nice. And of course, it's a mustard, so if you get hungry, you're out in the garden, just, snap off a twig and start chewing on it. It is quite spicy, but it is delicious. So I do want to share with you two things that I got for me personally, because, that was Grayson. It's all Grayson's fault. We were walking through. So this is Isotoma. I think I'm saying that correctly. Blue Star Creeper. that is the tag. It is a perennial, full sun to part shade. It only gets 2 inches tall, but it will spread to about 1 foot wide. And it is fantastic to use between stepping stones and in rock gardens. So that is what it looks like. I only got one flat because I want to try it out first to see how it performs in our gardens. This is something that Grayson always has. And this is, I went with the blue star versus the white because the blue has a little bit bigger of a leaf on it. So I'm gonna put this in an area kind of, well, it's hard to describe where it is. I'll show you later where I'm gonna put it, but I'm gonna space them. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in a tray. So I will space them out in an area, and this area is a space that I can just let them go. I think it'll be really fun, but you can walk on these, and that's not a high traffic area where I'm gonna put them, but you can easily walk on them. So that's something that we're gonna try out and see how that does. And then the gorgeous white balloon flowers. I have some purple or blue, I don't know technically what they're called, from Grayson, and I have thoroughly enjoyed them. I think they are the most fun plant. So this is the white balloon flower. This is called Astra Double White. It is a full sun plant, and it will get 8 to 10 inches tall, so not crazy tall. I'm gonna have fun putting them in some areas at the nursery, at the gardens, at the back of the house. So just so fun. But they call them balloon flowers because, so obviously this is an older bloom, but see how it'll get nice and poofy. So it'll like get really big, almost like it's a balloon. And then this one right here, whereas, well, it's hard to see. But anyway, then they open up, and of course, and they turn like this. But there's a in-between stage between these two, but they look like a balloon before they just go pop, and then they pop open in this beautiful flower. So that was something. Those were my two little extra treats for myself on this trip. So super excited. But again, if you are a garden center within 150 miles of Monroe, North Carolina, and you are looking to add in some proven winter perennial programs, they have a lot of great plants. Perennials and annuals is really what they kind of specialize in. Of course, they have proven winter annuals too come, you know, springtime. We have used them for several years, and they are just fantastic. So check out King's. And if you're not close to King's, then of course come to your local garden center here at Creekside. We always love to have you here. Come visit us. Grayson gave us a fun hat. We love these hats. This is by Legacy. These are fantastic hats. It's our favorite brand of hats. So you'll be seeing me sport King's greenhouses cap in the future. But again, a huge thank you for Grayson for letting us come monopolize his afternoon, and of course getting some gorgeous plants. Stay tuned for tomorrow because I will take you through and show you all the fun things that we have, plus the mums that are here at the nursery. They are cracking some color. So I think if more people plant fall plants, then the weather will change. So if we all do it together, then the weather's going to change and we're going to get cool weather. How about that? Okay, it's a deal? All right, we'll see you here at Creekside very soon, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 2. Y'all have a great day. Bye, friends. Oh, still going? Still going.